The next game, it's out west. It's BYU at Arizona minus 11.5. I like BYU this year. I think they're going to do good things. I think they're going to have a bounce. They had a rough year last year. I think they're going to bounce back. They're going to get back to a bowl, or at least they should get back to a bowl. It's always a tough schedule with them. They do have a lot of rivalries, so you never know because teams bring against them. But I mean, if you look at their record, I mean, the last 5 years, 8 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, 9 wins, 4 wins, right? So obviously, last year was an outlier with this team. Expect them to at least get somewhere back to 6 wins, get to a bowl game. Why not? I mean, they're usually representing in the bowl. They should be there. BYU in a bowl, calling it now. But anyway, I'm going against them in week one. This week is not the week that you want to be a BYU fan. Arizona has a lot to like about them going on right now. I mean, they have 16 returning starters. They're not much offensive line experience, but it's not terrible. I mean, 66 returning offensive line career starters returning. But the biggest thing is that's okay because they're returning quarterback Khalil Tate, and Khalil Tate is a madman when it comes to making offense, making plays happen. He had a couple of explosive games last year, 3 games of 200 plus yards, and he was the first quarterback in Pac-12 history with 1,000 yards rushing. So I mean, that's pretty outstanding stuff. The team performed well. Now, granted, towards the end of the season, it did tail off, right? It got a little stale. It didn't look like Rich Rodriguez and his staff really introduced anything to help keep the offense energized, and teams caught on to what they were doing. But that's okay because Rich Rod is gone. Kevin Sumlin is in. He has a track record with utilizing big play quarterbacks. I mean, this guy, he always seemed to have, a revolving door of like the top ranked quarterbacks always coming in Texas A&M. The problem, which I don't understand, they always started out strong. First 5 games, seemed like the first 5 games of every year, Texas A&M, they were setting new records, right? And then they get into conference play, and everything was done after that. But quarterback would then transfer, and in comes the next 5-star quarterback, and it's all hype all over again. First 5 games, but I'm digressing here. Anyway, this is Arizona, and we're talking about Khalil Tate. Kevin Sumlin will get the best out of them. It's a non-conference game. It's at home, and this is beginning of the season. This is when you should be backing Kevin Sumlin and the Arizona Wildcats. Now, when we get into the Pac-12 play and later on into the season, I don't know about that because, as I said, his teams usually digressed as the season went on and they got into harder competition. But he can definitely smoke the shit out of some lesser competition. So, I mean, Arizona, and then if you look at the power ratings, it's pretty straightforward. They're indicating at least a field goal of value right now on Arizona. The game should be closer to 15, maybe 16. BYU has 14 returning starters, 7 on offense, 7 on defense. The offensive line is quite inexperienced though, and that's a question mark. The defensive line loses, their defensive tackle, a nose tackle, and first team independent defensive end, is moving to outside linebacker or will linebacker. So, but they do have one returning starter and 3 backups that have some starting experience. So they're taking probably a small step back there. That should mean that they'll probably give up a few more rushing yards than the 148 that they allowed last year. But BYU normally has a pretty good defense. I just don't think they have anything that can match the speed of Khalil Tate. They won't be able to contain him, and Khalil Tate's ability to make running lanes happen is just going to open up other options for everybody else. I mean, look for somebody to take the top off this defense. A couple of deep bombs going, big play opportunities written all over this offense. So Arizona minus 11.5 at home versus BYU.